Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Mohd bin Zainuddin. I am going to present regarding supply chain management to overcome the motivation in adopting industrialized building system or IBS of Malaysian construction industry. The construction industry has always been one of the productive sector that contribute to economy, yet Malaysian construction industry has been haunted with problems which cause national economic leakage, health and social problem, and low productivity. Okay, by 2015, the over-reliance of low-skilled foreign labor is still plagued the industry. The industrial or IBS building system is seen to be the way to handle this problem. Hanafi stated that IBS may have many advantages which boost construction productivity, lessen concrete mixing activities, and shorten the construction period. Yet the adoption of the IBS in Malaysia construction industry is still very low. 15 project IBS by survey 2013. So most contractors were reluctant to use IBS in their next project. Only 24% of public IBS project value 10 million achieve 70 IBS score, and only 14% private IBS project counted with 50 IBS score, according to PANG 2016. So regarding the motivation and demotivation, motivation or incentive were given to contractors who adopt IBS through income tax exemption, investment tax, and reinvestment allowance, and import duty exemption, yet fail to attract more adoption. The motivation may play a role on reducing construction players' motivation to adopt IBS. Ng stated that motivation and demotivation work differently. Motivation will not be as effective when strong demotivating factor exists. So certain researchers stated by simply removing certain demotivators, it is possible that the motivational may increase without adding more motivators. Not only that, a motivating factor may also act as demotivating factor in some circumstances. So the solution, supply chain management as a solution. So traditional construction method has been as inefficient. So thus revolutionary practice need to take place. So supply chain management represent a new way of managing tool which lead to a better integration amongst the construction players. So the application of SCM also can improve efficiency and productivity and reduce overall operating costs. SCM is innovative and revolutionary management style which promote many benefit and risk sharing based on a long-term perspective of relationship. SCM is very promising approach to solve construction industry problem. However, in order to support SCM implementation, it is essential to use the appropriate tools. SCM philosophy is seen to support the motivators overcoming. Unfortunately, the implementation of SCM in Malaysia construction industry is still very low due to low SCM understanding, according to Abdullah 2010. So there is comparison of traditional and supply chain management. The first, traditional works individually, while supply chain management work in group. So the traditional is individual or independent effort, while supply SCM joint efforts. So traditional is individual risk, main SCM is risk sharing or joint risk. So traditional is more individual profit compared to supply chain management, which is profit sharing. So traditional also based on individual goals, while ICM based on common goal. So traditional is blame game culture, and this will attract dispute, while supply chain management no blame game culture because less likely dispute. And traditional is based on project manager as a boss, while ICM based on project manager as moderator or champion. So traditional also based on private and confidential information, while ICM based on information sharing, which is provide transparency. So traditional also based on adversarial, while ICM based on mutual trust. And finally, traditional is based on short-term or individual project based, while ICM is long-term mindset, which create framework agreement.
Yeah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firdaus bin Yobzin. I will continue this presentation on the methodology for this research. Alright, there are three objectives for this research. Number one is rank motivating and demotivating factor, and then determine latent demotivating factor, and then the last one is develop and validate final research framework. And then the data collection to achieve the objective, we conduct on literature review, preliminary interview, and then questionnaire survey, and then also audio recorded semi-structured interview. Okay, and then to achieve all these objective, we go for the sample size. For the objective number one, there will be a minimum 6 respondents with plus minus 20 years experience on the construction industry player. And then on the questionnaire survey, population to be identified later, and then sample size will be determined based on the number of the population. Okay, for the objective number three, there will be 6 respondents with more than 10 years experience. And then on the data analysis, they will be on the paper review, content analysis, SPSS for the questionnaire survey, and then we also use partial least square, okay, and then paper review, and also the last one is content analysis. That will be the part of methodology. And then on the research theoretical framework, there will be the main demotivating factor lead to the latent factor, which is practice, task, circumstance, organizations, industry, tools, and then convention. For the supply chain management tools, we use champion driving personality, collaborative logistic, early involvement of supply chains, joint risk management, quality circles, risk sharing, and then the profit sharing. And then all this will lead to the increase of IBS adoption. On the contribution to body of knowledge, previous research has been done to find the answer on the problem of IBS adoption in Malaysia. However, past research has been short of studying the demotivating factor of IBS adoption generally, and in Malaysia especially. Therefore, the outcome of this research would add to the body of knowledge regarding the main demotivating factors of IBS adoption. Okay, this research would then go further to identify the beneficial of supply chain management tools and consequently develop to a validated supply chain management framework to overcome low IBS adoption issues in Malaysia construction project. Therefore, the outcome of this research would enhance the richness of literature regarding the beneficial supply chain management tools to overcome low IBS adoption and also on the available supply chain management framework to overcome specific industry deficiencies. Okay, and then for the conclusion, Malaysian construction industry has the capability to influence other industry which affect the national economic activities, yet it is now scratched with a problem. Okay, according to Sandaraj, okay, 2006, industrial building system has been seen to be the way to handle these issues. However, it's still far from the targeted adoption. Okay, previous research has shown the lack of IBS adoption in the construction industry, and most contractors that use IBS in their project were reluctant to use IBS in the next projects. Okay, so the motive of this research paper is to reveal that by accepting supply chain management, improvement communication, integration, collaboration, and coordination can be obtained. Okay, this research is expected to be at a better success rate as it uses a solution to wipe out the root cause factors that affect the demotivation of IBS adoption. The proposed framework will not only be useful to the nation but also with proper adjustment may well suit other countries as well. So that's all from us. Thank you.